I have a hard time with that whole...
For years, Burt Reynolds kept his mouth shut whenever Clint Walker's name came up, even though fans constantly compared the two as the ultimate symbols of rugged American masculinity. But late in his life, Reynolds finally admitted what he'd felt all along. Clint Walker wasn't just another tough guy in Hollywood, he was the real deal. Reynolds, born in Michigan in 1936 and raised in Florida, once believed his future was in football until a devastating knee injury forced him to start over. That detour led him into acting, where he fought for every role, grinding through small TV appearances while trying to prove he was more than just a handsome face. Meanwhile, Clint Walker was already towering over television screens as the unforgettable star of Cheyenne, 6 feet 6 inches, broad-shouldered, with a voice that sounded like it came from the mountains. Reynolds admitted that when he first saw Walker, he didn't just admire him, he envied him. Clint had something rare, strength that didn't need to show off, confidence that didn't beg for attention. Reynolds said Walker carried himself like a man who didn't care about Hollywood games, and that alone made him stand out in an industry full of egos. The more Reynolds climbed towards superstardom, through Deliverance, The Longest Yard, and Smokey and the Bandit, the more he realized Clint Walker had a kind of power he couldn't fake. Reynolds confessed that Walker was one of the few men in the business who never acted like a competitor. When they crossed paths at events, Walker always greeted him warmly, asked about his life, and meant it. And when the old debate came up, who was tougher, Reynolds laughed and told the truth. If Clint wanted to, he could have snapped him in half, but he never would have, because Clint didn't need to prove anything. That's what Reynolds respected most. Clint Walker wasn't just muscle, he was decency. A gentleman disguised as a cowboy. Looking back near the end of his life, Reynolds admitted that Hollywood doesn't make men like that anymore. Stars who didn't need scandals, headlines, or noise. Walker let his character speak for him, both on and off screen. And in what may have been his most honest confession, Reynolds said the words he'd avoided for decades. Clint Walker was one of a kind, and the truth is, Burt Reynolds admired him far more than he ever let on.